Welcome to Convo Fango. Today, we are joined by the director and co-writer of Tiny Cinema, premiering at Popcorn Frights, Tyler Cornack.
Hey, thank
Yay!
you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to sit and chat with you about this today.
I can feel the heat through the screen.
Yeah. So Tiny Cinema is cinema for tiny people. Is that what's happening? Or
Yeah, there's some of that in there.
ah.
Yeah, what it is we had a comedy sketch group called Tiny Cinema years ago, and it's kind of weird even now to talk about the movie because we shot it it was a long time ago at this point. So it's taken a while for us to put it out for a number of reasons, but the main one being COVID and all that stuff. But yeah, Tiny Cinema was the name of our sketch group. And what we did, we just made like a little short movie every week, a 1 minute movie, horror comedy for the most part. And then we posted it online and we get a audience reaction from it. So the movie now is sort of an extended, some of the sketches in it, or the chapters in it rather, are extended versions of our original sketches. And then there's some new ones as well. So it's a culmination of these people I've worked with over the years, and us just making it seem a little bit bigger than what we did online, if that makes sense.
I love that. Okay, so it's tiny cinema, but it's not as tiny as it started out. It's like slightly bigger cinema,
Exactly.
but still tiny.
Exactly.
Okay,
And we
that's
were
really
just trying
cool.
to keep the brand name going, I guess. So
Yeah, no, I'm here for it. But it is still, I mean, it's larger than its original tiny state, but it is still tiny because it's an anthology film, right? So you're doing
exactly.
segments.
Still works. It's a bunch of tiny little movies.
Cool. So there's six segments in this, is that right?
Yes, 6 stories total. And they all take place in this parallel weird universe. It's a kind of like our version of the Twilight Zone, but if you were on acid, and um you know, it's a different level with the same sort of backbones of Twilight Zone.
I mean, when are we not on acid, you know? So
Yeah.
it's a casual, typical Monday on
Yeah.
acid.
Exactly.
Oh man. So without giving anything away, can you tell us about any of the segments or if they're connected, or is that
Yeah,
secret?
they're only connected through the host. Like, part of the joke is it is at random and the whole world kind of doesn't make sense. And we let you know that sort of off the bat. Like, there's no through line besides there's some actors that cross over into other stories and you're not really sure how they're connected. But it's sort of a parody on anthology as well. We wanted to create something where it was like, those questions aren't as answered as maybe you want them to be, but it's almost poking fun at it in a lot of ways, if that makes sense. And yeah, it's all over the place. And some of the stories, our whole sort of brand with what we did originally was that we would take the smallest, the most microscopic thing and blow it up into this big cinematic experience. So like we even did it on my first film, Butt Boy. We did it was a
That's a
little
title
tiny
right
joke.
there.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a little tiny joke that we just expanded into the as big of a movie as we could do with, a low budget. And it's kind of like that again, but they're just shorter, concise stories. And some deal with, some are just about friendship, some are about loneliness and love, and each one kind of has a different genre involved. So every segment that you'll see has its own title sequence. So it's like, oh, now we're going into this next movie, and then this next one, and then this next one, and then hopefully by the time you get to a new one, you're like, oh, I wonder what this is going to be. And then yeah, the end just sort of explains it, but doesn't at the same time. So
Sort of.
yeah, exactly.
I love that. These are billed as uncomfortable. Are they all equally uncomfortable, or is there something that's in there that's more uncomfortable than the rest?
They're all very uncomfortable, but
Okay.
some more so than others. Like,
Okay.
it's a lot of below the belt humor. But again, we play it straight and we play it like it's serious. So we're really excited to see how an audience is going to react because no one's seen it yet. So it's exciting in a lot of ways. We kind of made it for the midnight movie audience,
Mhm.
like just to go with your friends and see something crazy and weird. And that was kind of the whole idea behind it from the top. So we'll see if it works.
I haven't even seen it yet, which is like normally I get to watch something before I do an interview. So this is all like actual new information to me.
Oh, great. Great. Well,
But
it's probably a good thing you didn't see it before, because you would have some very different questions.
okay. I'm looking forward to seeing it with you in Florida. You guys are premiering at Popcorn Frights. So I'll be sitting there going, I'm uncomfortable, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely will be doing that.
Perfect.
That's our guarantee.
I did we posted a still from it with a really cool zombie. Looks like really cool
Right.
effects. Did you guys do a lot of practical effects in
It's
multiple
all
sections?
practical. Yeah, the whole thing. So we had a great makeup artist, Rebecca Hurwitz. She did my last movie as well, and she's just so talented and great. And we didn't have a lot of money to make this, so it's like she really pulled it together, and she did all the makeup on that guy by herself, and it was just so impressive. And yeah, it's more of a corpse than a zombie. But you'll see. It's kind of both. You'll see. But
More of a corpse than a zombie. Okay. All right.
there's a difference.
There is a difference.
Yeah.
Well, a corpse, I imagine, just is laying there, right? A zombie is
Yeah.
a reanimated corpse.
Yeah,
So,
but we have a little bit of reanimation too. So you'll
okay.
it's all in there.
Are there any dancing corpses or dancing zombies? That's what I would like to know.
Well, there's dancing corpses, if you want to call it that. But yeah, there's some of that. It's in there.
Okay. This is all very, very vague and very
I could
mysterious.
tell you more. I just don't think my explanation is going to help it very much. I think that
It's gonna
I think you just need to see it, and you'll be like, oh yeah, I kind of get it now.
your explanation is gonna toss me further into like turmoil and confusion. So you're like, I'm gonna give you this because otherwise.
Exactly.
Well, I appreciate it.
We'll see what you have to say after you see it, you know?
Okay, it's gonna be I'm uncomfortable, Angel Melanson, Fangoria.
Yeah, it's gonna be most of the quotes.
Nice. Do you have, I guess this is kind of like choosing like between like your children, but do you have a favorite segment in this?
I do. It's the second one. It's the one with the corpse.
Okay.
It's called Edna, and it's about a girl who's lonely, and it's just kind of the most it's just sort of the most cinematic, magical. It has a little bit of our version of Tim Burton in it, and it's yeah, it's my favorite, I think, beginning to end. But I like a lot of them. There's parts of each of them that I'm really happy with, and as ridiculous as it gets. So
Okay. I'm very much looking forward to this mysterious, uncomfortable, ridiculous kind of vibe that I feel like you're putting out here. And I'm like, I think I'm in for a good time.
yeah, I hope so. We're jazzed to see what people think. I'm very curious myself of what people are going to think of it, but we think it's funny and we love it. So
So Popcorn Frights is going to be your first time watching it with an audience as well. Is that right?
very first, yep.
Okay. That's
And,
exciting.
yeah, and then we go to Fright Fest in London after that, and then Brussels after that, I think. So it's going to be right in a row.
Do you get to attend in person for all of these?
I have the option to in London. I just don't know if I'm going to have time with everything in my life right now. So
Okay.
it's wedding season. So, but I'm trying to go. We'll see. It's going to be a last minute thing, but I'm trying to go because I've never been to London either, and I would love to see it. So
I'm crossing my corpse fingers that you actually get to go and attend in
thank
person
you.
and do this like whirlwind like festival circuit.
I need to get out of here for a bit.
I mean, congratulations to all your friends who are getting married, but also what the shit.
I know. It's all the COVID weddings. It's all
Mm.
backed up, you know.
Okay. We've got a wedding backup. It's now wedding season because of the COVID backup.
Yeah, it's 2 years of weddings condensed into one summer.
Nice. See, I know I have like maybe like one friend that gets married every like 3 years. So I don't have as much of like a backup, which is a bummer because I love weddings.
He gets a new marriage every 3 years.
No. Well, in my friend group, maybe one person every 3
Oh,
years.
I got you. I thought you meant the same person. You know, like, wow, that's crazy.
Oh, who is the problem here?
Yeah, exactly. And
Okay.
he's very he can time it out. Like you know exactly when it's gonna happen.
It's just on the calendar. He gets like a Google alert. It's about
Yeah.
that time. All right.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. On to the
Yeah.
next. Well, is there anything else you would like to share with us about Tiny Cinema before we head out?
Just everyone check it out. And we hope it's fun. That's all. We were trying just to make something really stupid because I think the world needs more of that right now. And it is that. So just yeah, have fun with it. We hope you laugh and it's shared. And yeah, that's about it.
Hell yeah. Tiny Cinema premiering at Popcorn Frights. It's also going to hit select theaters September 2nd, on demand September 6th, and on Blu-ray October 11th.